Good evening. I call this August 10th meeting of the Blackstone-Millville Regional School District School Committee to order. Welcome, everyone, and I ask that we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I would like to remind everyone that this is a recorded meeting and the recording will be part of the public record, and I would like to ask for an introduction of members.
Tammy Lemieux, Blackstone.
Tara Larkin, Millville.
Jack Keefe, Blackstone.
Georgette Jarrett, Blackstone.
Jane Reggio, Millville.
Alan Himmelberger, Superintendent.
Great. No public forum, but before we get started today, I would like to regretfully accept the resignation of one of our committee members. Wendy Greenstein has decided that she has to put more time into her family and her other commitments, and so she has resigned her seat on the school committee from Blackstone. So I've asked Jack to work with the Board of Selectmen in Blackstone. We will send them official notice, and then it will be the Blackstone members, so it will be the three of you that will meet with the Board of Selectmen in Blackstone. But anyone interested in serving on the school committee, there would be an opening. It would be an opening until the election in April, and then in April the town of Blackstone would fill would have a space for the 4-year term, and then they would have another space that would fill till the end of what was Wendy's term. So I don't know if she had 3 years left.
She has
I think
3
it was
years left.
3 years left. So there would be a 4-year position and a 3-year position. But in the meantime, if anyone is interested in filling it at least until the April election, we would welcome that and encourage you to contact the town of Blackstone. Okay. Moving on to our consent agenda A, we will separate out the warrants and the minutes. We're going to hold the minutes because there are some question, and so we will hold them to a future meeting. So we were just looking for a motion to approve the warrants. And is there a field trip? Yeah, field trip.
So moved.
Moved by Georgette. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Tara and Jack to move consent agenda warrants and field trips. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So the warrants and the field trip. School committee. Part of our requirement as members of the school committee is to evaluate the superintendent on an annual basis. We do that by having him report on his year, which he did a couple meetings ago, and then by getting feedback from the school committee. We do it in the form of a survey, and so all the members of the school committee responded to a survey, and we share the results of that survey publicly. Each individual response is part of the record, but we share the combined response. So the results of our superintendent evaluation on Standard 1, instructional leadership, the education leader promotes the learning and growth of all students and the success of all staff by cultivating a shared vision that makes powerful teaching and learning the central focus of schooling. Specifics include curriculum instruction, assessment, evaluation, and data-informed decision. And that is Standard 1 on the superintendent's evaluation tool. And what we generally do, for those of you that are new, we take out any of the outliers, anything that kind of stands off by itself, and really look at how the majority responded. And in this case, 87.5% believe the superintendent is proficient in this area. Anybody want to comment on anything on that one? Student learning goal, which is also part of Standard 1C, to improve the student learning by implementing the Big Ideas math program for grade 6 at the middle school, to further roll out the STARS assessment programs in grade 3 through 9, and STARS 360 in grades 6 through 8, to improve teaching and learning and improve achievement. And the majority of 50% thought that there was significant progress in that area, and 37.5% felt that that goal had been met. Any comments?
May I?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yes, you may.
I was just looking at my, so one of the things that I didn't see in the package was the actual evidence of where students were going. So I know that it's been rolled out, but I didn't see any data as the before and after numbers for student performance. And I don't know if it's just something I missed.
For stars or for?
For
big ideas?
star,
For
for
stars.
star. I mean, I know as a parent, we get individual results for our kid, but in the scheme of the district, I have never seen like the overall
growth
numbers.
the growth over the year.
Right.
Yep.
So that was one of the things that I had commented on for that, is just, I think it's important that we look at the big picture, as obviously it's like, oh, my kid, but it's not all about her. So I just wanted to see if overall the program is working for students, and if we can get some teacher feedback and if they feel what data they're getting from that program is valuable.
Yep, we absolutely can.
Okay.
And I will let you know that in January, we heard from both Dave and Justin about how that was being used and what some of the results were. So we probably had gotten that before you.
And I
came.
did know it was happening at the middle school, but then when I actually noticed that at the high school, they're using the STAR math, maybe? I didn't see reading, but math. So I'm just, again, just curious if that's giving them valuable information on where they're going.
Good to know.
We can get it.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? No. Okay. Student learning goal, also a standard one, to ensure a smooth transition to one-to-one learning in grades 9 and 10 with Chromebook rollout, and 87.5% of us believe that that goal was met, and the rest significant progress. So, any questions about that? Are we rolling out more this fall?
Mm-hmm.
8,
We will.
8, 9, 8, 9?
9, 10 become 10,
9,
11. We're
10.
going to roll out 9 and 12.
9, 12, okay.
So the high school will have complete coverage.
Student learning goal, standard 1B3, increase all special education student MCAS and STAR assessment scores and continue improvements, monitor and support the special education program by involving the principals in the program development. The results of this were all over the map. 12.5% said it was not met. 37.5% said there was some progress. 37.5% said there were significant progress. And Monique, I'll give you all of these too, so. And 12.5% said we met that. So clearly, this is a goal area that we either need more information from, or we need to delineate further, because we're just, as a committee, not sure, what, from a special education standpoint, where things are going. Any other comments in that regard?
No, I mean, I think this, sorry.
Go ahead.
I think the STAR assessment is the same thing. We just never got the before and after numbers or the interim numbers. And then I think the other piece here was just looking at the development of the programs. And I think that was a concern of Ms. Vinaco, just the out-of-district piece. And I actually have set up a meeting with Mrs. Braverman to kind of get some background knowledge of how things work here and that. So hopefully I'll have a better understanding myself.
But clearly, I do think that the special ed student learning goal needs to continue in both district improvement and goals for next year. I guess everybody would agree. The standard 2 is management and operations. The education leader promotes the learning and growth of all students and the success of all staff by ensuring a safe, efficient, and effective learning environment, using resources to implement appropriate curriculum, staffing, and scheduling. And 75% of us believe that the superintendent is very proficient in that area. Comments? Also, management and operations, safety and security, work to improve safety and security measures in all schools and incorporate the town resource officers in planning, increase the presence of school resource officers at school program and events. 50% believe that the superintendent met that goal, and 37.5% he exceeds. Someone saw some progress, but I do think we now have resource officers tied to every school,
Yep.
and really have moved well into that process. So. Any other comments? Management and operations, fiscal operations, to improve the budget process and delivery of information from January through June so that all parties have a clear understanding of the district's needs and have the information necessary to make an informed decision to support the school committee's adopted budget and to pass a viable budget at town meetings. 50% of us believe that there was some progress in that area. 37.5% believe that there was significant progress. I personally believe for every 2 steps forward, we take a step backwards, and that's not necessarily a result of our process, but really one of understanding, and we know that we have to work harder to have some allies out there who really understand this and can support what we're doing.
Mhm.
So I know that I've spoken with the superintendent, and that is still a very big goal for this upcoming year.
My comment was on here, and I still, I just verbalize it. Some of the decisions from the budget, I feel like sometimes they go against what we thought we agreed to or not. And also the 3-year plan that's been asked for, we really need to get that out there. I know we have a version of it, but whatever we need to do, we just need to get it
Mhm.
formal.
Anybody else? Okay. Standard 3, community engagement. The education leader promotes the learning and growth of all students and the success of all staff through effective partnerships with families, community organization, and other stakeholders that support the mission of the district and its schools. And again, a very divided. 50% thought that this area needed improvement, and 37.5% said it was exemplary. So, and I think it probably comes from our personal interactions where we see the superintendent, but I do know that he has made a concerted effort and will continue to work with the community and the families. I don't know if anybody else wants to comment.
I think one of the things that I would like to see more is feedback from the community. In the areas that, what are the issues that they're seeing leading to school choice? What are the issues that teachers are seeing to have so many quality people? I heard a new person leaving this week. What's prompting that? I think the public commentary often takes guesses on why people leave, but I think some kind of communication to get that feedback on what we know. There are some great people that are leaving to go to other districts. If it's a move, it's one thing, you can't fight that, but what are the other things that we could improve to keep those people here? What are the things that parents are feeling or kids are feeling that prompt them to pick BVT or, some other outplacement to build our numbers here? So I think I'd like to get some more information in. I think Alan does a great job for the parents who want to meet with him.
Yeah.
I've been to the supper with Super, I've been to those things, and it's the same 8 parents that are there. But the offerings are there. I think it's just trying to get that feedback the other way.
Anyone else? Okay. Standard 4, professional culture. The education leader promotes the learning and growth of all students and the success of all staff by nurturing and sustaining a district-wide culture of reflective practice, high expectation, and continuous learning for staff. 37% believe that it still needs improvement, and 62.5% believe that we are proficient. I know that this is my 4th year on this committee, and I truly believe that the culture is head and shoulders above what it was when I started as a member of this committee. I do think there have been great strides. There need to continue to be and be more, but anybody else want to comment on that?
I guess just one thing is kind of, the feedback, is more input. I guess if we could get employees, staff of some sort to help with this rating. I'm not in the schools. I mean, I have kids who kind of give me feedback. I don't visit the schools often to see that extra layer of, I get the, information that's shared, but I don't know like the ins and out conversations that employees are actually.
We're actually gonna talk about that.
Oh.
In the next item, believe it
Okay.
or not.
Oh.
So, it's something Aaron and I learned. Anybody else?
I'd just say that in my experience, as I came up through these final years of my schooling, the staff was always very professional and they were always very good at what they did, but they've gotten increasingly better from what I could tell. We've had a few specific teachers I can think of off the top of my head that have increased their proficiency drastically.
Good. That's good to hear. Anybody else? Okay. Professional Cultural Standard 4E and F, develop a comprehensive communication plan to ensure all stakeholders are clear on the goals and progress of the district. And again, very varied answers. Some progress, 37.5%, significant progress, 25%, and met that goal, 37.5%. So, again, one in which perhaps we need more information of what's going on and getting out there and how things are being communicated. But the other thing is, and I think somebody mentioned it last time, maybe somebody is not here, I know the superintendent has a blog and has information, but if people don't go to the website, some of that information's not getting out. So we need to somehow communicate to folks how they can get information, how they reach out, how they get it. Because the information's there, it just. Okay. And that's what I have. Would anybody like to make any general comments? I have spent just these last few months as the chair, working very closely with the superintendent. I feel like I have a very good relationship with him. I can ask him any questions and I get very quick answers. I enjoy the camaraderie that we have built, and I hope the committee feels like they can get responses that they need. We are charged with essentially 3 tasks: to do the budget, to supervise the superintendent, and policy, yeah, which I'm working on. And so I think we are doing those things. He's giving us good guidance, and we him. But we need to continue those efforts and really stay on top of those responsibilities. So I thank you for the job that you do. I do think we are in a better place since you have been here. And we're making strides. They're slow and steady, but we're making them.
May I just say something
You
about
may
the
say
overall
whatever you like.
process?
Yes.
As a member who started on April 5th,
Yes.
it is very difficult. I spent numerous periods of time kind of perusing all the information Alan sent to us and rereading and going over these standards. And it's really hard when you only have 4 or 5 months of information to go on. So I will say I was very hesitant about doing the whole process, or how fair is it to Alan or to the community for me with a lens of 5 months to review 12 months of service. And that part is a little unnerving when you know that it's important, as important as it is.
One of the things that Aaron and I attended a MASC workshop 2 weekends ago. And one of the things that we learn is that some school committees do only evaluate if the person has been on the committee for a year or more. So that somebody who is brand new isn't part of that evaluation process until the next year of the process. So we are proposing a committee workshop to talk about our own goals and our own procedures, and that was one of the things that we wanted to bring up. That it is very difficult to try to say, did they do this, did they do that? I don't know.
It was hard.
Yeah, and you had 3 doing that with this rating.
Any other comments? Okay, so just for the public's perspective, we will take all that into consideration, and we will come back at a future meeting and discuss where we go from there. Okay, review of subcommittees. In April, we assigned different people to different subcommittees. Some are working and working well. I don't know if, Tara, you have a report that you want to give to us, but one of the subcommittees was Points of Pride, and to try to have presentations come, and maybe now that September is starting, you and Karen can get together and maybe work with Alan and figure out who we can have come when, but really to
Sure.
let people know the great things that we're doing here, because there are some wonderful things, and if we don't promote it, nobody else is going to. The other thing was the school committee training program, and Aaron and I have been putting together an agenda for a workshop. And so I'd like to talk about dates. Of course, we'll have to post that, but perhaps before people leave tonight, we can just kind of throw out some dates. But we would like to get together to look at school committee goals, communication protocol, the way the agenda is set up, just all kinds of different things that we want to do. And one of the things that Aaron and I would like to do is we would like to have the school committee tour all the schools during a school day, because I know that there are probably some people, I have been in this school now for 4 years, in this room or the gym. I have never actually been through the school. And so I think when we're talking about what needs to happen in the school, it would be nice to see the school. So I would like to arrange for that, but as part of the learning and our knowledge base to help us all grow. And I did mention that the town of Millville had mentioned that they were going to have a workshop on the 14th. I have not heard anything from them, so I have emailed them. I think I copied you, Jack. I hope I did. If not, I will. But as soon as they have a meeting, we'll be in attendance. Do you have anything from?
So it's just been slow. The last meeting, it was just one other member and I, so we really didn't do anything. We are focusing on the transportation end of what regionalizing the elementary level would look like. I think that actually could be the deciding factor, so I figured that was one to tackle. So we're trying to reach out to the building principals at the elementary schools, the highway departments, and whether it trickles to the Board of Selectmen or whoever at this point, we're gonna start with the highway department and Telstone. So those three groups are who we're focusing on getting information from at this time. Hoping to have something in September or early October, a meeting with all the groups. Right now, we're just kind of doing email or phone calls. Yeah.
Well, thank you for doing that.
You're welcome.
Anybody else?
Not yet.
Anything else? Nothing yet? Okay. All right. That's it. Your turn.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Reggio. As you see in your packets, you have the list of surplus items from the high school. As I said last summer, it's sometimes like Grandma's attic. As you go through some of the older buildings, there is a certain amount of equipment that is beyond its useful life. And Mr. Dudek, I believe, has enclosed even
Photos.
pictures
Photos.
of, but suffice to say that these are, a lot of them, circa 1970, when the building opened. And so they are not needed, and the request would be to surplus the amounts of items as you see on the first page.
Any questions about that? Is there any motion to declare the item surplus?
So moved.
Moved by Georgette. Is there a
Second.
Second by Tammy. Any discussion? All those in favor of declaring surplus, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Nay? Nope. Okay. So
Thank you very much.
surplus.
Thank you. In terms of personnel, as you recall, last year at this time, we thought we were in good shape, and then 9 staff resigned, leaving us in a tough position. This year, we're in far better shape. I think some of it relates to budget uncertainty. Last year, we didn't get a budget until statutorily September 1st, and I think that contributed to some of the transition. This year, we are full with 2 more positions to be filled. And so if everything stays the way it is, we are in the process of interviewing for those last 2 spots, and then we will be at 100% staffing heading into back to school. August 23rd, which is a Wednesday, is the beginning of 2 days of orientation for our new staff, and school committee members are certainly welcome to meet them on Wednesday the 23rd at 8 o'clock. We will be serving a light breakfast, and if you are available, please stop in to be introduced and to meet them. Also, Tuesday the 29th is the first day for all staff to report, and there is breakfast in the courtyard, and then presentation at 8:30 in the auditorium. And again, for any school committee members who are available, you are invited to attend and be introduced and recognized for your work. And I think that that is so important. August 30th is Wednesday. All students report. And that time is drawing near. So everyone, please enjoy the remaining summer days. I just wanted to address the committee briefly and say thank you very much for your support, for your work, for your critiques. All are important to me, and I can't believe that this is my 4th back-to-school presentation. So time does seem to keep going. I love this job. I love this district. I've met incredible people, parents and students, and I'm proud to be your superintendent. So I look forward to a busy year, but an exciting year and a good year with the changes that we are making. And that is my report.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'd just like to ask one
Yes.
question. In the email, I saw Wednesday the 23rd was marked for 8:30 a.m., but you said 8.
It'll be 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I'll be at that one. I won't make Tuesday.
Yep.
But I'll make Wednesday.
Wednesday at 8, the 23rd at 8. Yeah.
Okay.
Very good. Thanks.
School committee forum. Anyone have anything they would like to share?
What's that?
Anyone?
I just want to thank Wendy for her service, and I already told her how sad I am not to have her sit next to me and guide me along this beginning year.
Nothing.
I will announce that on September 9th, it's a Saturday, the Millville Recreation Department will be installing a playground at the Millville Elementary School. Very long overdue, but they do need bodies to support it. It is a community build, so it needs bodies that must be 18 years or older. So it can't be student volunteers, unfortunately. So we may look, maybe we can get some student volunteers to do a babysitting kind of activity thing someplace else so that the parents can come work. I don't know about that. We'll look at that further. But September 9th, anyone who is willing and able, they need some folks to put in a playground.
So, quick question, is it
Yeah.
just, do you know, or do I ask Rec, but do people just show up, or they have to contact them ahead of time?
I think they're starting to collect names, and Karen Vernon, at our next meeting, we can ask Karen specifically, because she's also on the Parks and Rec.
Okay.
I think they're taking names, but I think they also would welcome the people to show up. And I know they need some tools too, but they'll be putting that out.
Okay.
Okay, well, enjoy the last piece of your summer. We do have some other business. Our next meeting, believe it or not, September 14th?
14th, yeah.
September 14th, after school starts, so.
I'll be going.
You'll be gone? Okay. Good luck at the start of the school for everybody, and then September 28th. And we do need to move into an executive session to discuss union personnel. So I need a motion to do so. It's a roll call vote, and we will adjourn from the executive session. We will not be returning here. So, somebody want to make the motion?
Make a motion to move into executive session.
Moved by Georgette, second.
Second.
Second by Tammy. Roll call. Tammy?
Yes?
Tara?
Yes.
Jack?
Yes.
Georgette? Jane, yes. Okay. Thank you all very much.